Hello students, we are going to continue today with the sixth chapter, that is the 100 dresses part 2. This chapter, as you all know, that we had started off in the last class. So today I am going to continue with it. But before proceeding with the chapter, I would like to recollect or tell you what we read in the last class. So in the last class, we had read in this part that the class circled in the room, in room number 13, and a notice from the principal's office came. Miss Mason read that notice and then clapped her hands. She announced that she had a letter from Wanda's father and she would read that letter before the whole class. Then after that, Miss Mason, she got ready to read the letter. All the students also got ready to listen, and Wanda's father wrote in the letter what he wrote, that Wanda and her brother Jake won't come to school anymore, and they were moving away to a big city where nobody would make fun of their names, and there will be no more any silly jokes or no laughing on them. So, listening to this letter, what was the reaction of the whole class? So there was a deep silence in the whole class, and Miss Mason understood that somebody in the class had done this kind of thing. So she told that no one will hurt anyone's feeling, and it was because his or her name was long. What had happened was very bad, and she asked she asked the whole class to think about what they had done, or whether it was whatever was done to Wanda was right or not. So then Maddie, hearing this, could not put her mind to work even in the first period. It was true that she never enjoyed Peggy's asking Wanda about 100 dresses. So now Maddie, she is guilty of whatever she has done to Wanda, and she was also guilty that she behaved cowardly and she did not stop Maggie from making fun of Wanda at that time when she was laughing at her and making fun of her 100 dresses. She had said nothing and she kept quiet, and she had done that very wrong thing to Wanda, and it was too bad, and she was a coward. Then Peggy never thought that they were mean. Then what happened after that? Maddie wondered if she could do something. She wished she could tell Wanda that she hadn't meant to insult her, and she looked at Peggy, and Maddie decided to do something. She would find out Wanda Petronsky. She and Maggie would climb the heights, and they would tell Wanda that she had won the contest. So, as the school was over that day, in that afternoon only, Peggy and Maddie, they casually went to Wanda's house. Peggy told Maddie that she never called her a foreigner, and she never thought that Wanda could sense being made fun of. So she thought that Wanda was too dumb. So then Maddie said nothing. She hoped they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry, and she would tell her not to move away to another place. So at last both Peggy and Maddie, they reached Wanda's house in the Boggins Height, and the house looked shabby but it was clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, that is blue dress that she always wore, and there was no sign of life there in the house. But so Peggy knocked on the door, but there was no response, as the Petronskys had gone. So now they started regretting for what they had done to Wanda. So now Peggy told Maddie that they couldn't do anything then. So when she asked Wanda about her dress, she had been getting good ideas about her drawings. So that means that she might not have, if she had not, Peggy had not talked about the dresses, then she, that is Wanda, would not have won the contest, as she would not have got the idea of making the drawings of those beautiful dresses. So this is what we read in the last class. Now we are going to read further what happens. So let's see page number 76. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. So, in these lines, now Maddie also tried to convince her. Now she's feeling very guilty, and now she's trying to convince her. She's trying, because of that guilt, she's trying to convince herself that Peggy said, and that if this is the case, she doesn't have to feel so bad. That what was she trying to convince? That she was trying to convince herself that after whatever Peggy said, and that if this is the case again, then she doesn't have to feel so bad. But later that night she could not sleep as she was thinking constantly about Wanda's little house, her faded blue dress, both shabby but clean, and her glorious 100 dresses that were all lined up in the classroom instead of the closet. And finally, she sat in her bed and started thinking deeply. The hardest she had ever done. She pressed her forehead tight in her hands, which indicated that she was really trying to concentrate. And after thinking so much and so deeply, she came to the conclusion that she will always stand against the wrongs and will never say nothing when she has to. So this way now she was trying to get out of her guilt. Guilt was that she never spoke or she never went against Peggy whenever she tried to tease Wanda or whenever she tried to make fun of Wanda, though Maddie always felt bad, but she was a coward that time. So now she's trying, because after Wanda had left, now Maddie is trying to convince herself. So then the next paragraph says, if she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of thinking things right with Wanda, but from now on she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. So in these lines, the phrase picking on someone means criticizing someone. So now, on Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda that she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were, and they asked her if she liked where she was living in and she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, and the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. So in these lines now, on Saturday, both Peggy and Maddie, they both sat together and decided to write a letter to Wanda, telling her about the contest which she had won and asking her where she is living now and how that place is, no matter how much they wanted to apologize. But they could not summon the courage to do so, and thus they ended up writing a friendly letter as if Wanda was their good friend. And then they mailed the letter to Boggins Heights where she lived but had already left that place, and on the envelope they had written please forward, because they didn't know her new address. So they thought that the person who would receive that letter would pass it on or would mail it to Wanda Petronsky. Then The next paragraph says, days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Wanda, defending her from the great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with, "How many dresses have you got?" And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop!" And then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. So, in these lines now, there was no reply from Wanda, but they didn't also receive the letter back. Thus, they concluded that it must have reached Wanda. But she was so upset that she didn't answer. They waited for weeks, but still no answer came. Then Peggy, she began to forget about the whole thing while Maddie used to make scenarios in her head. She used to make the plans in her head before sleeping, where she defended Wanda always. And she thought of all the scenes where large group of girls surrounded Wanda and would ask her, "How many dresses have you got?" And as soon as anyone could say any more, Maddie would interrupt and say, "Stop," so that all of them could end up ashamed. So, this way, Maddie was feeling very guilty that why she didn't stand for Wanda earlier and stopped Peggy from making fun of her. Now it was Christmas time. There was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. So, in these lines now, what happened? It was a winter season and there was snow everywhere on the ground, and the Christmas had come. They decorated their classroom with bells and a small tree, and that day Miss Mason told the students that she had received a letter from Wanda Petronsky, and she is very happy to receive it because now she can send her the medal too. And she had written a letter, and in that letter what she had written, "Dear Miss Mason." So she addressed the letter to her teacher, Miss Mason, saying, "How are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. And I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one for Christmas. I miss that school, and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronsky." So we can say that the letter began in a very friendly tone. Wanda asked how everyone was and that they could keep her dresses because in her new house she has a lot of 100 dresses lined up in her closet or cupboard. And she specifically mentioned the dress she wanted Maddie and Peggy to take home. And the green dress with red trimming was for Peggy, while the blue one was for Maddie. And she expressed her affection towards Miss Mason and wrote that her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. And she winded up the letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas and also wrote that she missed everyone in room number 13. Then in the next paragraph says, on the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy peppermint sticks and cornucopia of shiny transparent paper was strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right. And that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. And she felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight lipped, polished girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. So, in these lines, the words like cornucopias is a decorative container containing it usually contains flowers and fruits, and holly is a shrub having prickly dark green leaves, small white flowers and red berries, and it is used in Christmas decorations. So in these lines it is said that it was Christmas season and all the houses were decorated. Grocery stores were stocked with Christmas trees, candy, peppermints, sticks and other Christmas stuff, and the atmosphere was colorful and joyful. Maddie and Peggy took home the drawings very carefully when Peggy realized that this gesture implied that Wanda liked them, and they also assumed that she got their letter and everything was peaceful between them. And Maddie, on the other hand, was quite sad. Why? Because she would never be able to see that Polish tight-lipped girl again. That is Wanda she's talking of. Then she would never get a chance to make amends or say sorry to her. Then the next paragraph says she went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway, and tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time. So in these lines it is said that as soon as Maddie she reached home, she displayed her drawings on that part of the wall from where her pink flowered wallpaper was slightly torn. Just to hide that paper, she just hung that drawing made by Wanda. Then Maddie's room was shabby too, but the drawing made it lively, and as the colors on the used in the drawing were very brilliant, and so she stared at the drawing constantly and thought how nice Wanda had been to them. Then the next paragraph says, tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing. But it looked like her, Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why, it really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's. So in these lines it is said that while staring at the drawing Wanda had given her, Maddie's vision got blurred from tears. The tears welled down from her eyes. Why? Because now she is remembering Wanda and she is remembering that how she did not took her stand, why she did not stop Peggy from making fun of her. Then she rubbed her eyes and noticed that Wanda had actually drawn Maddie's face along with the dress. And the colors of the dress were so bright and vibrant that the face was hardly visible. And Maddie got excited and ran towards Peggy to check if she had noticed it too. So then the next paragraph says, Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy, as they clattered up to her room where Wanda's drawing were lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed, and the head and face of this picture did look like Peggy. So in these lines, the words clattered up means walked with. And so in these lines it is said that as soon as Maddie she reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture, and the drawing was lying upside down on the bed. Peggy had not put up that drawing on the wall, but she had put it upside down on the bed. And Maddie raised it, and yes, it was Peggy in that drawing, and both were left in shock and awe at the same time when they saw that drawing and noticed that she had drawn the face of Maddie in her dress that she liked, and Peggy in the dress. She had drawn Peggy's face on the dress which was given to Peggy. The next paragraph says, "What did I say?" said Peggy. "She must have really liked us anyway." "Yes, she must have," agreed Maddie. And she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda, standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls, and she had walked off after she had said, "Sure, 100 of them, all lined up." So in these lines, the word blinked away means winged, that is to blink an eye, and stolidly means not showing any feeling. So in these lines, it is said that Peggy exclaims that she was right about the thought that Wanda liked them, and Maddie, whose eyes get filled with tears every time she recalled at the scene where Wanda would look at the girls laughing at her, also agreed with Peggy that Wanda liked them. So earlier they did not believe that Wanda liked Peggy and Maddie. So now it was proved by seeing the drawings that Wanda really loved Peggy and Maddie. So this is all in this class. I hope you all have understood this chapter, and the answer of the questions you are going to write by yourself first, then send it to me, and then I will check those answers. Then in my next class I will send you the question and answers. Thank you and goodbye. She decided that she would never let anyone make fun of others because of their appearance, name, clothes, or where they come from. So now she is repenting. Maddie is repenting and she is feeling very guilty. So now she decides that she would stand against anyone who would make fun of other because of his or her appearance, name, clothes, or anything else. Now she would speak up and she would stop that person. So now she would not shy to speak up against Peggy, even if it meant losing her friendship. That if Peggy would do it again, then now she is going to take a stand and she is going to speak against Peggy, no matter she would lose her friendship. Now she does not mind losing her friendship also, which earlier she felt. That's why she did not stand up against Peggy. So now she could not go in the past to make amends with Wanda, no matter how much she wanted to. But from now on, she decided that she's never going to let another person feel embarrassed or unhappy again.